Hey YouTubers, and welcome back to Tony the Technician channel. And today we're going to be going back into the Amazon tool deals, and we're going to be going over tools that are on sale, tools that even at their full price or list price I believe to be good deals, and tools that I find to be interesting and would like your guys' input on if you guys have used them. So today we're looking at a product that you've probably seen in a few of my Amazon videos in the past, and that's this Tekton 1/4 inch drive socket set. Anytime I see the 3/8 or 1/4 inch drive on sale, I try and give it a mention, just because, you know, well, for one, this is a Amazon sale video, but with prices of tools going up, and not just tools, everything in today's market going up and up, anytime I see a Tekton tool, I know it's a brand that I've used for a long time and trusted. I love the warranty, pricing, quality, all of that. So anytime I see a Tekton product and it's on sale, I try and share it with you guys. So if you see a few repeat products, I mean, it is what it is. I believe it to be a good deal and want to share it with you whenever possible. So this is down from $80 to $64.79, savings of $15.21. It has 5 stars at 698 ratings. And when it comes to Tekton, just like I mentioned in all of my previous videos, is anytime you are going to purchase it from anywhere else, you want to compare that pricing to the Tekton website, and keep in mind that if you create an account with Tekton, which is free, you get rewards. So you spend $100, you'll have 10% or $10 on your account that you can use next time you make a purchase. So keep that in mind and figure out which route is better for you. But I believe this to be a great set. 1/4 inch drive. It has both metric and SAE. This one is 12 point. You can also get them in 6 point. This is the 55 piece set. It also comes in a larger set as well. Doesn't look like they have it labeled here to see the larger one, but this is still a nice complete set, no skips. 4 to 14 on the metric and 5/32 to 9/16 on the SAE, both shallow and deep, and it does include that 4.5 and 5.5. And then you get a 90 tooth ratchet. Sorry, I'm just all over the place right now. You get a 90 tooth ratchet, quick release, a bit driver, a universal, and a couple extensions. And once again, the other thing that I really enjoy about the Tekton socket sets is they don't throw in a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, like all the little bits and stuff like that. So I really enjoy these sets. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you guys have used them. Also, keep in mind, all of these tools mentioned today will be linked down in the description underneath the tools and tools continued link, with many other tools that I suggest. So I really hope you guys enjoy. Next up is a product from Capri Tools. This is their super thin open end wrench set. This is the SAE one. It goes from 1/4 inch up to 3/4. It's a 4-piece set. The metric is a little bit more, as you can see here, 44. It is a little bit larger set. I think it's a 7-piece set, and then, you know, it's dual sizes, so you get a good variety. And the master set that comes in the EVA foam tray is $129. I really enjoy the EVA foam trays. I have quite a bit of the Capri Tools sets. I really enjoy Capri Tools quality. The pricing is good on a lot of their stuff. Now, this specific tool I do not have, but it has been mentioned multiple times on my videos, suggested from other viewers. And so if you work with any like hydraulic lines, or if you're working in an environment where those fittings are really close to something, that's where these super thin wrenches are really handy, because sometimes the width of a standard wrench is too wide to actually get on that fitting. So these can be really handy for those situations. I myself do not find I have in the past a handful of times, but I've worked my way around it. It's almost worth picking up a set, but if you work around situations like that quite often, this is definitely something to keep in mind. This has 4.5 stars at 1,021 ratings. It's $31.49. It's not on sale right now, but they will go on sale every once in a while. And this isn't really a tool that, you know, everybody needs, but if you know or think you will find yourself in those situations, they're really not priced that bad to just have a set on hand. I'm actually considering picking one up just in case. And there are other brands that sell super thin wrenches, but this has been recommended a lot by others that have that follow the channel and comment. There are other brands available that have super thin wrenches and things like that, but, you know, for the pricing, I would rather go with Capri Tools. It's a brand that I know and have used in the past and have been really happy with, because the pricing really isn't much different than from some of the others. Another thing to keep in mind, that these are super thin wrenches. These are not made for extremely high torque situations, so just keep that in mind. But overall, I think it's a good product. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Chrome vanadium, there you can see they are extremely thin. So there you can see they're dual sizes, so you're getting, it says a 4-piece set, but you're getting 8 different wrenches basically. Here's just a tool that I find to be handy. Now there are a couple different variations of this type of tool available, so just keep that in mind. I figured I'd show this one, but I'll show you some other designs below. This is the Powerbuilt 2-piece hose pincher tool. So basically anytime you're working, let's say you're replacing like a windshield washer reservoir motor, or working with small heater core hoses or coolant overflow tank hoses, anything like that, you want to make sure that it is not a lined hose that you're going to crush a metal sleeve or anything. If it's just your standard rubber hose, these are fantastic. You basically put it over the hose, you use the wing nut, tighten it down, and it basically clamps it off, so you're not just pouring fluid everywhere, whether that be coolant, windshield wiper fluid, anything like that, fuel. And then sometimes if it's still dribbling a little bit or whatnot, you can just double up. If you're doing multiple hoses, you might need more, but I usually double up just to make sure that, especially if it's like a fuel line or anything like that. And then I absolutely, with a passion, hate coolant. The smell, the feeling, everything about coolant I hate, and I find myself working with it fairly often, and I find myself getting it on myself fairly often. It's just not something I enjoy. Coolant is just not one of those chemicals I enjoy working with. I would rather have my hands covered in oil than I would coolant. But these can be very handy for many different situations. But there are different styles available. Here you can see that. These are down from $23 basically to $11.53, so savings of basically 50%. 4.5 stars at 58 ratings. And they do have other styles. You can get the metal hose clamp or pinch off pliers. They also have plastic ones, and they're made by various different companies and brands, So all pretty affordable products. It's just really what you prefer, whether that be the metal ones, the plastic ones, or if you don't like the pliers, there are tools like this that I just showed you, and they're all fairly affordable. It's something that's just handy to have around just in case you're working with fluids. Here's an OEM Tools hook and pick set. So I actually have their O-ring seal removal tools that I really enjoy. It's a super cheap set, but you're literally removing O-rings, or I use them for like taillight caps that cover the screws and little trim pieces, things like that. It does a lot better job of not marring up plastic and stuff than a standard pick set, so that's why I have that. Pick sets are extremely affordable. Like Tekton has a new one. I think it's a 5-piece set. I actually have it for $20, made in the USA. Fantastic pick set. But I saw this one. I really enjoy this handle design, even though it may not be made in America. It just reminds me of the old Craftsman USA made screwdriver handles. So that's not saying like everything out there with this handle design is fantastic. That's not what I'm saying. There are plenty of horrible screwdriver sets out there with the Craftsman style handles, but I thought this was a pretty nice set for under $20. It's $17 right now. It has 5 stars at 41 ratings. It's a 6-piece hook and pick set. I like the handle design. It's OEM Tools. It's a little bit different handle design than what I have on my O-ring and seal removal ones, but here's your different picks. You have straight, combination, double angle pick, 90-degree pick, complex pick, and hook pick. I'm glad they have those labeled, because there are 3 of those that I have. I know the hook, the 90, and the straight. When I just see a bunch of double bends where I just call that a messed up pick. Stainless steel blade, corrosion resistant, solvent resistant handle, impact resistant, ideal for separating and positioning wires, removing small fuses, O-rings, retrieving washers. It's not suggested to use on O-rings unless you're replacing that O-ring. If you're just removing an old beat up O-ring, that's fine. But if it's an O-ring you're going to be reusing, it is not suggested to use a pick. And if you do, be extremely careful not to nick or destroy that O-ring. But I think for, $17, it's a pretty nice little pick set. And then last up, we have another OEM Tools product. I think I've mentioned this probably about a year or so ago. This is their brake hub resurfacing kit. This is really handy, whether you're a professional or a DIYer. If you do your own brakes or anything like that, this can be very handy. So whether you're taking your rotors in to get turned down, which is very rare nowadays, or if you're just replacing your rotors or your even drums, this is used to clean up the mating surface of either your rotor to the hub or axle assembly face, or the face of like your drum, or the face of the rotor where your rim actually meets with the drum or rotor. Basically, it's very common to have rust buildup, corrosion buildup in there because, especially if you live in a state with a lot of salt or a lot of rain, then, water tends to get down there. Chemicals in the water tend to get down in there and they dry out, and then you just start to get a buildup. And then if you remove the tire, you have that buildup, you put it on a little bit differently, then you have your surface is no longer flush. Most of the time, crushing it down with the lug nuts, that'll do. But if you just want to keep the stuff clean, it'll eliminate the possibility of having wobble, because it can throw your alignment off if there's a buildup of rust and corrosion on one side more than the other. It's just a good thing to do, just to keep the surface clean and the mating surface nice and flush, or as flush as you can make it, so you don't have to worry about any alignment issue and chasing problems. And then also it kind of helps the next time you remove the wheel, so it's not, if you got old steelies or whatnot, you may have an issue, sometimes with those being rusted together. So it's just a handy tool to have, especially for $15. I mean, you can't really go wrong. There's a bunch of other brands that sell this same tool. It's 4 stars at 418 ratings. You get a few extra pads with it, different diameters. You get 2 2-inch ones, 1.5, and it does have the hex shank on the bottom, so you can either throw it in your drill or impact driver. And then here you can see it cleaning up, one that doesn't look like it really needs cleaned up. That's basically the purpose of it. If they're, right on that surface, you would usually see a lot, after years, you get a lot of rust buildup, corrosion buildup on there, and just cleaning that surface off can save a lot of headache, and, it's just easy maintenance. That's just another product I wanted to mention, real, cheap product that can be really handy to have. But just real quickly, of course, earlier, they had plenty of brands down here that showed the same type of tool, and now there's none. There's the stud cleaner. Here's slightly different designs of them. Basically, if you look up the brake hub resurfacing kit or brake hub cleaning tool or anything like that, you'll find a bunch of different ones. But OEM Tools, once again, not a fantastic brand, but a brand that I've been selective with as far as selecting what tools I want to purchase from them and what I don't. And the tools that I have selected, I've had good experiences with. So it's just one of those brands that they have some tools that you would want to stay away from, but as long as you're smart about your purchase and you understand how much you're going to use that tool, then I think it's a good brand to go with, especially for a DIY or weekend warrior. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep in mind, all of these products will be linked down in the description for you guys if you guys are interested, as well as many other tools. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And as always, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. See you guys next time.